Hey guys, we are back with another Abershire gaming video, and in today's video we are going to be talking about how to win every single match in the Iron Banner. This will apply to any Iron Banner that is held on a control type of game mode. So yeah, it's going to be centered around the control aspect of the game. First off, we are going to be talking about really your main source of points in control. So basically, you get points from kills, but these kills, you get a certain amount of points for each kill based on the amount of zones that you control. So basically, the more zones you control and you get a kill, then the more points that you get for that actual kill. So what that means is that you are going to want to hold more zones than your opponent. So there are 3 zones, so you're going to want to hold at least 2 of them. I would aim for 2, as 3 is pretty much impossible to actually hold down, and makes things pretty chaotic when you try to get 3, so just aim for holding down 2 zones. So the main thing that you're going to want to do is to try to focus all of your attention to your zones and holding down your 2 zones. You're not going to want to go chase the enemy, just push them like randomly. You're going to want to push them if they're capturing one of your zones, and just try at all costs to hold down your 2 zones, because if you hold down 2 zones for the majority of the game, then you are pretty much guaranteed to win every single game. A lot of times what people do is they just play it like it's a game mode without zones. They just rush and go for kills, which can be fun, but if you want to win and get those 5 tokens, then you're going to need to try to hold down and capture those zones as best as you can. In order to do this, I would just focus your attention on the zones, and for your weapons, I would just recommend to have a close range weapon and a medium to long range weapon that you can use. It's pretty obvious, just guns that you're good with, and yeah, not too short range guns and not too long range. Pretty obvious, but yeah, just always go for the captures. Try to hold down 2 zones for the majority of the game, and that will allow you guys to win every single match. In order to hold down 2 zones, you have to have a decent control of the enemy team. You need to try to hold them down into one certain location. What's going to happen is you're going to have 2 zones controlled. They're going to spawn on their one zone, and then you will most likely kill them kind of near that zone area, and then their spawn might rotate, and then they might capture, say, a different zone, but then you will capture that zone that they had. So the zones that you have will rotate, but you will always maintain control of at least 2 zones throughout the entire game, which is what you need to do in order to win. You don't have to be a great player to do this. It's pretty easy, as most people don't really focus too much on the zones. A lot of people just focus on going for kills, just kind of randomly. That's what I do sometimes, but when I really want to win, I make sure to focus on the zones. A lot of the games where you have 2 teams that are pretty close in skill, or like say your enemy's better than you, and you control 2 zones where they control only 1. A lot of the games like this will be close, but you'll pretty much always come out on top if you control more zones, as I've said. This strategy works very well if you have a team of like 3 or 4 people, as it allows you to coordinate your position. But in this clip, I was only doing it with myself and 3 other randoms who weren't paired up either, and we were facing, I think, a team of 2 people grouped up and then 2 randoms, which made it a little bit harder on us, but we were still able to maintain control for pretty much the whole game, which allowed us a pretty easy victory. It was a pretty big deficit, I'm pretty sure, but yeah, just make sure you hold down the zones. As you can see in this clip that I've been showing you guys, I don't do like that amazingly well. I do die quite a few times, but with this strategy, it doesn't really matter. You don't have to do too well. You really just have to be positive, getting like 1 KD or like a little higher, like 1 to 2 is plenty to actually do the strategy, which is pretty easy to get in most games. One thing that I would say that helps a lot with the strategy is if you have like another person with you when you're trying to capture a site that's been taken over, is if you can have another person, you guys can team shot someone who's like on the site. Makes it a lot easier rather than just pushing alone, which I know sometimes you have teammates that don't really cooperate and just play for going around and trying to get kills, but if you can, it makes it a lot easier if you get just like at least one teammate to help you out and yeah, push with them. Makes it a lot easier. So try to match up with at least one other person. It makes the strategy a ton easier. But yeah, you still can do it alone, but it's a lot more difficult, but it still can be done. I hope that this strategy helped you guys out and allows you to win all of your games in Iron Banner and get more of those engrams. I know it's helped me out, and I've opened a decent amount of engrams so far. And yeah, I already made a submachine gun review, so you're gonna want to go check that out. But yeah, if you guys liked the video, then make sure to go subscribe and like, and I'll see you guys in the next Evershire Gaming video.